what we call it the bigger Bay Area. So we phrase the Hong Kong, Shenzhen, and Zhuhai as a bigger Bay Area. I'm not going to comment on the other products, but we will let the customer to decide.
Tom is one of the guys who decided to leave one of the biggest companies in the world, Apple, and try and solve one of the hardest problems in tech, trying to build a pair of smart glasses which I want to wear every single day. He is the CTO of Even Realities, and he's leading a global team of people trying to figure out wearables. In this conversation, we talk about ambition, innovation, and what it really takes to disrupt an 800-year-old industry. Hey, Tom. Thank you for joining us today. For anyone who does not know, Tom's the CTO of Even Realities, the pair of glasses that we both are wearing. I met Tom at CES last week, and I just wanted to have this informal conversation with him to understand more about his background and what Even Realities is doing. Tom, if you want to introduce yourself, give us a quick background.
Sure, sure. So for Even Realities, we are a group of people come from both traditional eyewear industry and also the consumer electronics field. So for myself, me and our CTO and our CEO Will, and he and I worked for Apple for several years. He was on the Apple Watch team. I was on the iPhone camera team. So we are both from the consumer electronics field. And for our traditional eyewear team, Nicola Schnorr, he was the CMO for Lindbergh for like 25 years. He worked for Lindbergh for 25 years. And we also have the Philip Hoffman. He was co-founder for ICEBLIN and Makita on the eyewear side. So primarily, he's our principal eyewear designer. So we're basically a group of people full of a spectrum on both manufacturing, design, consumer electronics side, but also the optometry and the traditional eyewear side. Yeah.
Got it. So personally, for you, are you an engineer? Are you a mechanical engineer, electronics engineer?
Yeah. So I start off as a mechanical engineer, basically working on a MEMS project on the hard disk drive industry, and then move on to the more optical mechanical field, working for Apple on the camera
Got
side.
it.
So I was
Got it.
basically a cameraman for Apple. Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
Yeah, I went to UCLA. So
Got it.
for my master, went to Purdue for the bachelor degree. Yeah.
Got it.
Uh,
That's great. So how come you guys decided to do smart classes when you started? Why smart classes was the first product that you guys picked?
yeah. So when we start off the thinking about the new startup for next big thing is we worked at iPhone industry, right? So all the smartphone and also the watches, AirPods, wearables are kind of hitting their limits. So innovation drained. We don't know what's the kind of the next big thing is even for Apple, and they basically they're working on the Vision Pro at that time. We don't think that's a right approach. So
Yeah.
for us, we've been thinking about what's the next big things for the human beings on the consumer electronics side, on the everyday usable wearables, and so that comes to the glasses, because glasses is the only things which is not digitized and is still pretty traditional industry for 800 years. So people like Zeiss, Essilor, they've been working on the glasses, traditional glasses for 800 years, and this industry has never been like smart. There's no smart glasses for everyday use, for everyday wear. So we start off this project basically 2 3 years ago to have this concept in mind, waiting for the industry to be mature, waiting for the technology to be mature. So this is a gradual step into the future.
Hmm.
Since we don't quite agree with the Vision Pro approach, that's more like a gadget things for entertainment use, but
Yeah.
we are thinking about more for everyday glasses, everyday for the everyday wearing. Uh, this
Hmm.
point of view, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because do you wear glasses regularly outside of
No,
even?
no, I don't. So,
Yeah.
but for now, I was a Apple Watch user for 8 years.
Hmm.
So all the most common feature I use mostly is the notification. So
Hmm.
after we start up the company, I gave up my Apple Watch. So uh, those become my everyday glasses for notification, for my upcoming events, for the time, for everything. It's basically, even if I don't wear the prescription, I do have the pretty strong user case for myself to wear glasses every day. Yeah.
So no more Apple Watch.
No, no, that's unfortunate, but yeah, can free up
Got it.
my spaces. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think it's an interesting opportunity for people who are regular wearers of glasses. I have a prescription pair, and I cannot see without them. But having them be in a regular eyewear is definitely helpful. What's the origin story of the name? Why Even Realities? Why did you and Will come up with the name Even?
Yeah, yeah. So events has multiple aspects. So uh, we want to basically balance the physical and virtual realities, different realities,
Hmm.
or digital world and the physical world. We want to make it even. We want people to enjoy life. At the same time, we want the digital content to be undisturbed. So what our vision was can be referred to undisturbed connections. You still want to be connected to the digital world, but it's not disturbing. You can still enjoy your real life. You can still enjoy the like face to face conversation with you without like having my phone out or having my watches to bother you. So as for even realities, we want to do a perfect balance for these different aspects. And of course, the eyewear, we have digital features, we have wearability, we also have beauty. There's different aspects. We want to also make them even, right? So we don't want to make it
Hmm.
super digital features like Vision Pro. We want to balance out the wearability, beauty, and also the digital features. So these three pillars can be even out, can be even. So basically, our stories contains multiple aspects, but yeah, we call ourselves even realities. Yeah.
That's great. Um, so let's talk about the team. I know I've seen some people talk about that you have a small team. Is that the case now? How big is the team?
It's been growing bigger. We are approaching like 100 people. We're actually just moving to the new office. The building is quite large, and
Okay,
I think for a year old company, 100 people is a decent amount. Yeah.
that's right. And where are you guys based out of? Are you guys based out of Europe, US?
Uh, Yeah, yeah. Our we have self team based off the European country all across Europe, and the design team Denmark, Germany, and we have a Hong Kong office as well. And most of the manufacturing, the engineering team is in Shenzhen, so pretty global team across globe. Yeah.
Got it. So if you were to sort of define what your team structure looks like, how many would you say are engineering? Is it 20%, 50%? How would that be?
I think over two-thirds of our the employees are R&D based.
Got
So
it.
we
So
are pretty strong R&D and the product driven company. Yeah.
got it. And I'm assuming you're looking at both hardware and software.
Yeah. Of course. So
Got it.
for
Got it.
R&D team, basically, yeah, we have hardware, optical, mechanical, radio frequency, and also the electronic parts. And for software, we have our own app and backend team, and also all the AI multi agents team. So firmware as well. So basically, a full stack. Yeah.
That's great. Um, and this is maybe a little bit unrelated to the glasses or the business, but I am just actually curious to understand how the team management and collaboration is going on, given you're growing so quickly, and for a small team sometimes that can be challenging. So how have you managed your team? What's the collaboration structure like?
So basically, our pretty much our most of our leaders and including all the co-founders, we came from like bigger company. So we've seen like Apple, like bigger company like Apple, like Samsung, Philips. So we know the basically the structure wise, how to become a larger entity, how to become a larger team. So we also worked at the smaller companies when we early days. So basically, the from the smaller company to a larger company, we know the path. From the collaboration point of view, I think it's a perfect match for the engineering team is based in Shenzhen because the hardware supply chain most of the day today it's based on the China have the I think the most of the supply resources you can
Hmm.
reach. So it's the efficiency wise, it's much more efficient. You can approach so the what we call it the bigger Bay Area. So we we phrase the Hong Kong, Shenzhen, and Zhuhai as a bigger Bay Area, big Bay
Right.
Area compared to the California Bay Area. So basically, we do have a lot of resource over here. To
Hmm.
make them more efficient in communication, in the supplier management, in the, also the engineering team management. Most of the leaders come from the bigger background, so I think we know what we're doing. We're not like the start of from the scratch. Everybody here and probably most of a leader has more than 10 or 15 years of the management experience are here. So growing
Hmm.
big is not our problem. It's more like you can make a good product or not. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, no, I was in Shenzhen in 2017, and it was pretty interesting for me to see the advancements that were there. Um, okay, all right. Let's jump into your daily workflow. So, how do you manage
Sure,
your
sure.
tasks, calendar, notes, and how does the even realities help you in all of those? Whether it's staying in context, out of context, using different applications. How do you manage your work
You mean like I'm for me to use in
with
the
the
classes
classes, and
or
how has that integrated in
okay,
your
okay.
regular
Yeah,
workflow?
yeah, yeah. So basically all my calendar events are synchronized with my work calendars and they are we use the glasses to manage my upcoming events to see the time dates and also there are lots of tasks like to-do list. We have a voice memo, quick notes to remember the things I need to do go through today. So basically the glasses is it's a very big help. It's a quite big help for manage my daily tasks. It reminds me on the to-do list. It's seeing my upcoming events also remind me the time and dates all the time. So by using the glasses, I can enjoy the face-to-face conversation. I can because I'm most of the time I'm in a meeting. So face-to-face conversation is it's a big thing without it disturbing, without having the cell phone always out. So
Hmm.
I think for me the daily one is completely replace my Apple Watch for or you can basically reduce the frequency to pull out your phone to look at your phone. Yeah.
Hmm. And outside of even, what's your task management? What's your calendar like? Do you use the regular Apple apps or do you use other apps?
Um, most of the task management we have a internal for like a project base we do have a collaboration tool similar to like a Slack like it's basically we use different like the communication tools in
Yeah.
China. So there is messengers or calendars, but all of that is synced to my cell phone calendar, which is gonna sync into my glasses. So
Got it.
these two are synchronized, and yeah, basically it's no problem these days. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's quickly get into some of the early challenges. I know building a hardware startup is hard, even if you're coming in from a background which is Apple and others. What were the early challenges which you remember?
Yeah. To start up the company, to building uh, the electronics or hardware this complicated, it's definitely requires a lot of efforts. So to start off the company, I remember like at that time, software is definitely a challenge because it's a totally new platform, and
Mm-hmm.
with basically ever since day one, we don't have any hardware to play with, and the software team basically waited 2 or 3 months until we get the first set of the hardware ready to for the development, and the development time and the schedule is very tight. We basically went through this within a year, like approximately 9 months. So the
Mm-hmm.
software is like we only have a half year of a development over here. So I believe that now online a lot of people are saying, okay, human varieties like software, there are some buggy issues here and there, and the interface is not quite ready. We hear the voice. So we've been start to working on these areas on the more friendly interface, more solve more bugs, and try to release the software, like updated software pretty frequently.
Got it. Yeah, no, we talked about the early challenge. Is there any challenge which you guys are facing right now?
Yeah, there are of course like challenges. There's always been. We want to do the next generation of glasses. For every generation, there are bigger challenges because we hear more of a customer's voice nowadays. So we have
Mm-hmm.
feedbacks from the customers everywhere on Reddit, on the mail, on the customer service. So there are lots of feedbacks. So we are trying to basically organize and channel these feedbacks into the more applicable features or improvements into the next generation development. So these are, I think these are more valuable assets for to us to make a better glasses every year. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really like what you guys are doing. I think in terms of the developer ecosystem, you guys open source the app. There are developers who are actually building projects around what you guys have been doing. What's your guys' plan to manage that developer ecosystem? Will I be able to write an app for even realities? Will I have an API to integrate other things with it?
Um. So yeah. Uh. So currently, the most of the app and all the protocols are open source on GitHub. So we also have a Discord community. People are discussing all the topics over there. So we're gradually open up to all the code or SDK. So it takes some time where develop the in parallel task. So but the bigger image doesn't change. We wanted people to use our hardware, to use our glasses more. So to open up the developer options for people to explore, to do demos, to do whatever user case they want to be.
Got it. You briefly talked about how complicated the design was, and I understand. I think it's both from a hardware and a software standpoint. It's so new. No one's done this before, especially having a display all the time in front of me, having that user experience and that design. How was that challenging? Could you talk through some of the decisions that you guys made on the user experience side for a user on the screen?
Um, yeah. This is because we wanted to make everyday use. So as glasses, you need to be super clear, super like uh, light, wearable, and so that brings us a lot of questions, and we try to. You can see like for we have touchpads or have all the electronics on the back of the sides that try to balance the weight of the glasses, make you feel more
Hmm.
comfortable. And by moving all the electronics to the backside, there's some challenges in the front. So the signal, the electronics, how to lay out, how the thickness of the temple, these are all come to the pretty challenging side. But for reliability, for good glasses, we need to do this, right? We need to make the front to look good, so
Hmm.
people can wear it all day. So these basically we're keep improving improving on that. Yeah, for the future. So.
So is that also why you guys did not add a camera for the weight?
Uh, yeah, partially it was for that consideration. If you add too many things on there, it will be too heavy.
Got it. Any other considerations? Why no camera?
Uh, their privacy, of course.
Yeah,
Privacy issue was a major one, but nowadays, mainly as for first generation, for the first wearability consideration, we didn't have that.
got it. In terms of privacy and security, I understand. Yes, you guys don't have a camera, which is great. But I think in terms of transcripts and everything that I'm storing, how does that work within even?
Yeah. We basically we're selling this globally, and we strictly follow the GDPR protocol for customers' privacy, and we encrypt every single data of their customer data. We don't uh, abuse them. And then for like let's say for some customer service cases, we need a customer's agreement to share the data to for us to analyze the problem. We were going to see that, and it's by uploading the log or uploading their data, we'll be able to use their data just for troubleshooting. But most of the case, we strictly follow the GDPR protocol, and we do respect the privacy for our customers. Yeah, even if we're only a startup company. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, no, I think that's helpful. I think a lot of questions are around privacy and security, and it's important to be mindful of that. It's good to see companies, even startups, making sure that the data is secure and safe. Um, I'm curious to know what's your business vision? What's the long-term plan? What's 3 to 5 years? What does that look like? Do I have a range of 200 classes?
um, I mean, like uh, for the SKU for the look, different frames. Of course,
Yeah.
we're gonna do more and more in the future. That's for sure. And
Yep.
but for the product form factor, we're gonna stick with the glasses. Uh, so it has to be a good, decent eyewear first. Then
Hmm.
we're talking about all the smart feature on top of that. So I think that's the main vision. We are not going to change it. And for the future, for next generation, yeah, of course, more and more SKU, more and more frames gonna be out. But for now, we need to focus on to doing a decent hardware. Yeah.
Got it. In terms of the hardware and software roadmap, anything specific which you guys are planning for the next couple of months? I know you briefly mentioned some
Um.
features to me at CES. I don't know
Yeah.
if you can talk
Yeah.
about it. But
So yeah. I think the main thing is we're working on is the interface, user interface. So people are talking a lot about the touch, talking a lot about the head positions. I think these are not ideal for now, and we are trying to work on some voice command based. That I think that's also a lot of people are asking. So it's gonna be out. We're still working on that, so give us some time. We'll definitely get this improved. Yeah.
got it. What about hardware? What are you guys thinking in terms of hardware for the next generation? Are you guys adding a camera?
Uh, I cannot comment on that on the
Got it.
hardware parts. But yeah, we will surprise you. It will be more futuristic. Yeah,
Got
yeah.
it. Maybe you start tracking my heart rate or anything fitness because you don't have an Apple Watch anymore. So maybe the glasses can be the fitness tracker.
Uh, I don't want to comment on that, but
Okay.
just
No, that's okay.
to
I'll
have
look
your
out for it. So,
expectation. Yeah.
got it. So I think, are you guys also thinking of an yearly cycle in terms of the technology for hardware? Is that the
Yeah,
expectation?
most of the case. Yeah, most of the case. Yeah, so like Apple, like iPhone, right? So we do yearly release.
Got it. So 6 more months. That's what I need to wait for the next pair. Um, any use cases that stood out for you guys when you guys saw the launch, when you guys saw people order anything that specifically maybe you did not think about when you were designing and building and people were using it in that respect?
Yeah. There are definitely some use case we haven't thought about, and there's a lot of demo. Also, the people are mentioning some feedback. We're gonna gradually lump them into the future either software release or hardware development. Um, yeah, this is I like to see the information is more complicated. We need to basically follow a channel through and do some filter. We can't do everything. Basically, there are lots of there are lots of things, and we are still a small team. We try to work on most important or most frequently asked the task one by one. Yeah.
Got it. Um, Finally, how was CES for you? Did you see some interesting competition come into the market?
Uh, to be honest, I think the whole industry is booming. There are lots of glasses company for sure, and everyone has their own unique features doing the different ways. I think it's good for the industry uh, since it's so hot, and we are. Um, I'm not going to comment on the other products, but we'll let the customer to decide which one is their favorite. I think let the market, let the customer decide. But I think
No,
it's good for the whole industry. It's pretty booming, and a lot of the glass solutions or brands is coming up. I think it's uh, good for competition. We're also keep us encouraged to do a better product.
that's right. No, that's great. Anything else, Tom, you wanted to share today?
Uh, Not for my part. I think yeah. I think that's about it. Yeah.
Great. Well, if you are interested in smart glasses, maybe you should go check out Even Realities. They have been super helpful. I've been wearing them since August last year, and I love them. They're my daily eyewear. Well, thank you, Tom, so much for making the time to speak to me today. This was super interesting, and I look forward to the next pair, the G2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No problem.
I met both Tom and Nicola at CES. And Nicola, who's the chief strategy officer, he told me that they decided to actually print 200 different styles before they landed on the G1A and the G1B variants. It's super interesting to hear from him how he decided to jump from Lindbergh, an established eyewear brand, to a startup just trying to come in with a pair of smart glasses. Never been done before, smart glasses. Since my conversation with Tom, they've already released version 1.5 for the glasses, which ends up fixing some bugs, but also adds features like transcription, which was demonstrated by Captify at CES. So it's super cool to see a startup actually listening to what people are saying and what people are talking about on Reddit, Discord, other places. I really wish that these guys have enough money in the bank to actually be able to release future versions of this product. I would love to see a full color display. I would love to see cameras, speakers, and more battery life while it becoming smaller and lighter. But we'll see where the industry goes. I think everyone's going to challenge each other, and I'm super excited for what's in the future for our eyes.